for a nonprofit organization, you're essentially serving the community in a way that you're a steward of the community's resources to be able to achieve something that community finds value in. And so I think that's a very significant difference. There are a number of people who come looking to make a career change quite often, and they say, I've been working in a corporate environment. I've had great success, but I've in essence enriched the shareholders, and that's rewarding in some extent, or I've enhanced the bottom line of this corporate organization, but I don't feel like I've done something meaningful for the community. And so they're often looking for roles where they can engage with an organization like Atlanta Humane Society to really impact people and impact pets. And I think that's a significant difference. We like to say that when you leave each day, you've earned a bit of an emotional paycheck working in the not-for-profit arena. And that's certainly not exclusive to Atlanta Humane Society. There's so many great organizations that serve every community in that nonprofit space, and it is a wonderful feeling when you can carry that with you and say, hey, I really impacted, made the world a little better place today.
Yeah, so I love that, and I think that's one of the things that's so unique about the not-for-profit space is the meaningful kind of work. I love what you said, emotional paycheck. How cool.
Yeah.
And there can be some challenges because you have a lot of volunteers as your workforce. So we'd love for you to share maybe the other side of the coin, some of the unique challenges as a not-for-profit leader, because from my vantage point, it seems like there's a lot of influencing that is required, and not so much like, well, do it because I said, because these folks are there for more of the emotional paycheck than the actual paycheck, which can make leadership in that space a little more tricky. So I would love for your thoughts around that. How do you hate to use this pun, but how do you herd those cats?
Yeah, that's actually a very great descriptor, I think, of roles in leadership and not-for-profit. You have so many different constituencies, and so you have different groups who have a sense that they have ownership over the direction, over the outcomes, over the day-to-day things of what an organization does. And so it's a bit of an orchestration that you have to be able to sort of bring all of those components together in a collaborative environment. And I think it's evolved and certainly over time. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was first starting out at the United Way, I was a young college grad, just didn't know a thing about the world or how all this works. And I reported to the CEO at the time, and to this day, I'm still in touch with him. He's in his almost 90 years old, retired in Florida, but we still stay in touch. He was a tremendous mentor to me. And one of the questions I asked him one day, I said, boss, why is it you spend so much time on the telephone? This was pre-technology world, so the telephone was his main thing. And I said, man, you just spend all this time on the phone, and you're calling board member after board member after board member and volunteer. And I said, you're on the phone all day. And he said, that's the nature of the work that we do. We have to collaborate with everyone and make sure that we have consensus. And he said, it's all about gaining consensus about what direction the organization should take next and how the organization should shape its mission, and also how do we gain the resources in the community. So that was a learning moment for me, that I really understood or began to see and watch him and learn from him in such a way that I realized that this role is not about being an authoritative autocrat, sort of sitting at the desk and telling people what to do. It's really about gaining consensus and bringing people along as a group. And that, to your point, we have 600 active volunteers who are in our facilities at any given time, helping out with all the day-to-day things. We have a governing board. It's people who are coming together and working on strategy and development. And then we have our internal team of staff. And then we have external donors who also want to have a say, or want to know what's going on, and feel, because they're investing in our work, that they need to have a stewardship understanding of what's happening. So a lot of this role is about sort of orchestrating all of those components to come together.
Yeah, you mentioned, I loved earlier on you used the word kind of there's a lot of groups that feel a sense of ownership. And when you said that, it made me think of the similarities to things like university leadership or even church leadership. Or university leadership, you've got faculty, but you might have alumni. They all have this sense of ownership. Like, and I've been part of this institution for decades. Same thing in church leadership. You may have members in the congregation that have been there for years and years and years, and they feel like it's their place.